A big thanks to Brabura by Hearthstone Outdoor for sponsoring this episode. This is the steak that I'm gonna use to show you how to make the perfect crust on a steak every single time. This is a beautiful tomahawk. It's got great intramuscular fat and it's got beautiful dark red meat, which means we're gonna have a lot of flavor in this steak. It also has a giant bone, and the first thing that I'm gonna do is take off that giant bone. Loads of people are gonna cry at this moment, but there really is no need. Taking off the bone is going to make this steak even better. I ended up with a beautiful steak and a bone, and I'm not interested in the bone because I don't eat bones. Dog eat bones. I'm gonna round this up a little bit to make it look pretty, and then I got a beautiful steak. Now, of course, there's a good reason why I just did that. Everybody's gonna be crying in the comments, oh my God, you ruined the tomahawk. No, no, no. I just created an opportunity to make an even better steak. That's what I did. Let me show you the magic. This is the amazing Barbura flat top griddle by Hearthstone. But it's not even the magical part yet. I'm gonna switch on the lights, turn on all the burners and let the Brabura flat top griddle come up to temperature. And this is my magical crystal, a big block of Himalayan salt. This heavy stone is going to change the way you're grilling steaks. It's going to make everything taste better. Let me show you how that's done. First thing to do is to place the stone on the flat top griddle and let it warm up with the flat top griddle. And while I wait for that, I'm going to take 3 red onions and I'm going to peel them and slice them into rings. I'm also going to chop up a clove of garlic and peel 3 stalks of thyme. And once the crystal is hot, I'm taking it off the grill. Oh, smoking hot. Look at it. Vapor. Then I'm going to melt some beef tallow at that exact spot. Once it melted, the steak goes on. Then on goes my hot salt crystal. Press it down and let the weight of the crystal do the rest of the job. Meanwhile, I'm going to lower the temperature of the flat top griddle, setting it all the way to the lowest position. I'm getting a beautiful crust on my steak. I can see the browning happening, and I know with the weight of the block of salt that all of that surface of the steak is going to get the perfect crust. After 4 minutes of cooking the steak, I'm going to take the block of salt off. You can see that the steak cooked underneath that salt block. Now let's take a look at that crust to see how far along we are. Wow, that is the perfect crust on a steak. Listen to that. Hard as a rock of salt. Let's put the steak back on and cook the other side. Salt block on, a little press, and continue to cook. This is awesome. This is freaking awesome. I can see like little bubbles popping everywhere, and like the fat and the heat can't escape. It's just like going up and down, up and down. It doesn't know where it's going and everything gets heated. And the crust is going to be freaking delicious. After another 4 minutes, it's time to take the block of salt off. As you can see, the moisture is here, so that means the salt melted onto the steak. Now let's take a look at the other side and see how the crust developed there. And perfection once again. I'm taking off the steak and wrapping it in butcher's paper. And now you can see this brown stuff sitting on my plancha. My grill plate has all of the best flavors from the steak sitting right there. I can either be a dummy and clean it up and throw it away, or I can be a real chef and know what I'm doing by making use of all that goodness. First I'm going to scrape some beef tallow back on, then put the onions on, some garlic and a little bit of thyme. And here comes the magic trick once again. Put the salt block on and let the weight of the block help you to build up flavor, build up a crust, and make sure that the onions soak up all of the goodness that sits on the griddle. That's gonna be good. This is gonna be so tasty. This might just be the most magical part of the whole thing. Those onions look about done. Time to take the salt block off. The browning is the crust of the steak that went onto the onion. The onion caramelized and became super sweet. And now it's going onto my plate. And of course it goes without saying that this doesn't need any more salt. Let's unwrap our steak. Oh, just a little bit of resting, and that is what happens. Look at all that goodness. I'm keeping that. That's gonna stay in the paper. Let's slice this up and add it to the plate. It's cooked a little further than I wanted to. This is definitely medium to medium well done. Do I have any regrets? Well, let's find out. No regrets. To the onions, I'm gonna add the juices of the steak, because if you make something this good, don't let anything go to waste. Then put the steak on, decorate it with a twig of thyme, and that's how you get the perfect crust on a steak every single time.